Namaskar, everybody. Good evening and a very warm welcome. Please forgive my disheveled look. I'm right in the middle of my final stages of house construction. So, once again, wish you all a very warm welcome to this edition of the Spiral of Wisdom Satsang that we have had for many years. It was started by Ma Manize, the founder of the School of Ancient Wisdom. So, before we start, may I request Swati to say the school prayer?
O hidden life, vibrant in every atom, O hidden light, shining in every creature, O hidden love, embracing all in oneness, may each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Thank you.
Thank you, Swati. So once again, it's never enough for us to remember the same message that what the school prayer has just spoken about, that we are a soul and we're not this body, that hidden light vibrant in every atom, that hidden love embraces all in oneness. So let us connect with our higher self as we've come in from this busy day. Take a nice deep breath. Before we do that, please sit straight. Put your back, neck, and head aligned, helping the prana shakti flow. Take a nice deep breath. And let go. Keep observing the silence as I chant the Guru Mantra that connects us with our inner Guru, our higher self, on this Guruvara. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. What a magical ability to put us in touch with silence, which is the language of the soul that connects all of us. So this week, we once again have in action, the advanced session. So I'd like to request Raghavacharya ji to take it forward now. Namaskara ji.
Namaskara. Thank you so much for the wonderful recitation. When we talk about yoga in action, it is to be understood that we are acting with a level of realization. That very realization is what has been conveyed to us in the prayer, in the English prayer recited by Swati ji. And from understanding this inner light, what should we do next? We should take its guidance. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. As Ramesh ji recited, I think it is a wonderful start to today's lecture, as this is a very, very short recap of what we saw in the previous lecture. So let us begin today with once again a very quick. Uh, Wait, is my screen visible?
Yes, Ji.
Yes.
Uh,
No, we can't see him.
Continue to share. The
It is
button is
visible.
not disappearing. I hope the button is not visible. My screen is.
We are
Uh,
able to see the buttons.
oh, okay. Apparently the button is not working. I will just stop sharing and
Sure, sure.
There seems to be some glitch. The button is not even going from PowerPoint. Let me just quit PowerPoint and restart. I'm sorry for this. I think this issue happened last week as well.
Please take your time. I think this pause also really helps us to observe what happens within, because it is moments like these that give us practice on how to face situations in life which may not happen as per our expectation. And if we observe that we stay calm and equipoised, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he's very fond of people. Come and we start experiencing the full benefit of the satsang. That is the power of collective intention. So let us do that now.
Is it visible now?
Yes, it is. Thank you, Ji.
Okay. Now it is fine. Thank God.
It's still orange color.
But we can see it. I think for some people, the connection may be a bit slow. You may be looking at the
It is
user.
just the title slide.
Just switch screen.
I just see an S.
No, that you're looking at his video, which is now closed. Just switch screen. If you switched screen, then you will see his.
Yes, now you can just move the slides, Acharya.
Okay, sure. So let me begin with my customary prayer as well, because if at all I have any knowledge to impart, it is only due to the grace of the great gurus that I have had and the gurus of such gurus. श्रीवत्सवंशकलशोदधिकौस्तुभस्य श्रीवासराघवगुरोस्तनयं ततश्च विद्या अवाप्य विबुधोत्तमतां दधानं कुर्वे सदा हृदि गुरुं करुणाकराख्यं रामानुजदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकं लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोर्रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये मातापिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्पकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वयभट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखरयोगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणुपरकालयतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम् Such a long prayer I have, but there is a reason for it. We will cover it in the class today. Today's agenda is going to be about further understanding of yoga in action, which is what we covered in the last class, right? We saw about what could be meant by yoga and what we are referring to as yoga in our context. We saw about the different kinds of action and then said, no, there is something called as skillfulness, and that skillfulness needs to be well defined and well nurtured. Of course, calling it as skillfulness in action is not something that we have done by ourselves. We have Krishna to thank for that. That also comes from Bhagavad Gita, as we saw in the previous class. We are also going to look at why it is necessary to further understand about yoga and how to practice it. It will never be complete until we get actionable insights. So, learning how to practice it is absolutely essential. But if we begin with just the rules, okay, do it this way, do it that way, it might be easy to say, but not that easy to inculcate. For that reason, we are following a procedural approach. Now, we will look at a few concepts, a slight difference from the previous lecture, that we are going to get into a little bit of theory. Now, there is this word called religion, and it's very popular all over the world. They say there is Christianity, Islam, Judaism, this, that, so many religions. So many religions are there. And all of them are supposed to teach us good things only. Yet they are so different from each other. And we also see that it is not just the religions that are different from each other, but the very definition of the word religion that is at stake. Now, there are a number of people in India who say that what we follow, Sanatana Dharma, it is not a religion, it is a way of life. It's a very beautiful statement, saying it's a way of life. It is something that stays with you throughout your life. It is not just something that you think, okay, this is this, that is that, and move on, right? That's a really nice statement. But if we cannot understand the word religion, maybe we would be missing out on something. So let us look at what religion is. I opened the dictionary. I did this some years back. There was a lot of buzz on social media, religion, religion, religion. I thought rather than looking at social media, let me look at the dictionary, because social media is very confusing. 100 people would say 100 different things. But when I opened the dictionary, I got even more confused. I saw more than 10 different definitions of the word religion. All I had to do was open different dictionaries. Each one would give me 2, 3 definitions. The most popular way, perhaps, just say faith, belief in God, belief in some scripture. It is too minute, it is too mild, it's too superficial. It does not give us anything solid. But if I look at the dictionary, that is even more confusing. So, one definition says a particular system of faith and worship is religion. Then another will say the entirety of linguistic expressions, emotions, and actions and signs that refer to a supernatural being or supernatural beings. Yet another definition would say you don't need to believe in anything supernatural to have a religion. So it's very, very, very confusing. So many different definitions are out there. Okay, so what will we do? Since there are so many definitions, we will adopt a simpler approach. Our approach would be to create a custom definition just for our own convenience, not as great literary scholars who are going to enter the definition inside the dictionary, but for our purpose. What is our purpose? Our purpose is understanding yoga in action. For that purpose, if this word is going to help me, then why not look at it? Let us do that. So we know that if there is a religion that we wish to follow, how should that religion be? It shouldn't just be a name. There is nothing in a name, right? People identify themselves in so many different ways. It doesn't really make that big a difference. What matters is how they think, how they speak, and how they behave. We see this a lot. So, for example, if you open LinkedIn and try to recruit somebody, I need some experienced person. What would I do? I would look at the skills and accomplishments of the person. I wouldn't be looking at the designation alone. One guy's designation would be manager, but he would be a fresher with no knowledge. Another guy might be an assistant manager in the same field, different company, but with 5 years of experience who has handled 5 different projects. Who would I select? Naturally, it will always come down to what is really within. What is within matters. And the most important thing that is within has already been revealed to you in the prayer, the hidden light that they are referring to. So, we need to understand what religion is not. It is not just a label. A label has no meaning. Anybody can call themselves anything. It doesn't make that big a difference. Okay, can I just call it an identity? I'm a yogi. Do you know there are so many yogis out there? So many yogis. If you ask them for the definition of yoga, they will differ with each other. What will you gain from it? So, what is necessary is to look within. So, just on the basis of identity or designation or what people are doing, if we decide to say this is religion, we would naturally get into trouble. When we see all sorts of hatred on the basis of identities, just on the basis of religion and so on, much of the reason behind it is this kind of a misunderstanding. So, here in this slide, you can see a custom definition that has been prepared for our convenience. I'm not saying this is the definition of religion. I am saying let us take this as a definition because it is very useful. Religion, I will read it out and then explain. Religion is the lived path. It is not just action. It is not just realization. It is action with realization. That yoga in action, right? Religion is the lived path. Okay, but what is yoga in action meant to do? It reconnects the individual to the supreme. Notice the word reconnect. We have lots and lots of schools of philosophy in the world. The majority of them do not believe in any kind of reconnection. They say you need to connect. You were never connected in the past. But even according to them, being connected is the best possible state, and that is what we are meant to do, right? So, theoretically, we are supposed to connect with the Supreme Being, the Supreme One who is inside of all of us. In Sanskrit, we call it Antaryami, one who is within. So, we need to connect not just theoretically, but practically. So, religion is the lived path that reconnects the individual to the Supreme. Okay, what will I get through that connection? What is the point? The point is there. The point is that it steadily reshapes their character. I am already a good person. What will I gain by connecting to the Supreme? Let me be an atheist. So what? I know moral science. That is enough for me. There are plenty of people who identify as morally good but non spiritual. We say, try the spiritual path. It is definitely helpful because no matter how much greatness you might have, you should know that none of us is absolutely perfect. None of us is absolutely perfect. All of us need to improve. If I am at 10%, I need to improve 90%. You might be at 90% and might have to improve 10%. That much would definitely be there. So we need to constantly improve ourselves. So religion steadily reshapes their character so that their actions become fit for that relationship with the Supreme Being. It might sound very complex when read completely, but in short, it is action which is done with yoga. When you have yoga in action, whatever you do, the way you live, that would be the true religion. As simple as that. So, fortunately, we have defined yoga in action in the previous class. And today, we have time to look at more words. I come from the state of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is a wonderful state, and Tamil is a wonderful language. At times, it would have words that sound exactly like Sanskrit words, but might not have a meaning that resonates with the public that understands such words. When we say samay in Hindi, it means time, right? Such a meaning is indeed there. But this word samayam, which might have very well been part of Sanskrit and Prakrit, has one more meaning. It means faith framework. How should I have faith and how should I do things? I need to keep faith in myself. There is no doubt about that. If you do not have self confidence, you might not even do what you are capable of doing. But is that enough? Some people have too much self confidence. Too much self confidence. We call it pride. We call it ego. We say that is a bad quality. Do not have it. So, yes, you should not be underconfident, but at the same time, you should not be overconfident. There is a limitation. There is some area inside which we are allowed to play around. We should not cross it. Who gives us that? That is given to us by what is called as samayam. So, what is this faith framework telling me how to go about things and so on? That is nothing but a school of philosophy. We have with us lots and lots of schools of philosophy, right? But our point is twofold. One is that philosophy is absolutely necessary for us. This inquiry, who am I? What is really driving me? The hidden light that was spoken about in the prayer, right? Why should I think about the hidden light? What will I gain from it? Is there such a hidden light at the first place? Thinking about these things matters. So, as we advance, so we talked in the previous lecture about performing actions in a very proper way. You focus on it, you move in the right direction, ensure that you are not chasing the target. You are doing it because it has to be done and not because you are chasing some target. Because your target may or may not be achieved. But what matters is whether you have done your job. We saw that, right? That itself is a framework. And that itself is philosophy. So, if we want to proceed to the next level, okay, I should do things without expecting the result. If that is the case, how should I keep myself? How should I conduct myself? I should conduct myself in a philosophical way. It is the fundamental need of people to adhere to some school of philosophy or the other. A lot of people, unfortunately, do not realize it. But why is it so? What is the big deal about philosophy? Philosophy, if you are to look at the definition, it is about studying about the fundamental questions. A lot of us do not understand the fundamental questions and therefore do not take any attempt inside. Once we start taking the attempt to answer the fundamental questions, numerous concepts would automatically start making sense to us. We would start understanding ourselves better, the world better. We would become successful in a lot of aspects. It is very important to understand. So, if you recollect the English prayer, I'm citing it yet another time. It talked about one of the things mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that one should be a samadarshi. One should see everybody equally. How? Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shuni chaiva shvapake cha pandita samadarshinaha. Krishna said very beautifully. And Bhagavad Ramanuja explained it as follows. He said, no matter who you look at, no matter which kind of trait you see inside them, maybe it's a great scholar, so scholarly that he has become humble. Vidya dadati vinayam. As you learn more and more, you realize that there is more and more to learn and you become humble eventually. Maybe it's that kind of a person. Or maybe it's a namesake person, a namesake scholar, namesake seeker. It's so easy, right? Just a label. Let me call myself Jagat Guru, Acharya of Acharyas, ruler of rulers. So easy. But would it make me one? No. Yet, in both cases, it is the same type of entity. You are not able to see the same type, you are seeing some difference. But inside of that body, there is something else. There is the Atma. So, be it an ordinary animal like the cow, we don't get scared when we see cows, do we? As far as I know, in my village, when they see cows, they go and give it grass to eat. But would people do the same thing to an elephant? People get scared of its size. Oh, it's so big. It is so mighty. What if it gives me a small pat by mistake and I am sent flying away? The elephant is big and mighty. In that as well. So, be it in a cow or be it in an elephant, be it in a scholar or be it in an anti scholar, be it in an animal or be it in people who consume animals, there is ultimately no difference when you see things at the level of the Atma. And such a person, Krishna says, such a person is a scholar, Pandita. Panditaha Samadarshinaha. The scholars know to see this equality. What is our aim, therefore? To understand this equality. Why do we need to understand this equality? So that we could have all our actions performed in the most skillful way. Okay, a lot has been said. One new point essentially has been added, that we need to see equality. I don't see any kind of equality right now. I don't think I belong to any religion, no matter which kind of definition you're going to use. I don't even think I adhere to any school of philosophy. If I were to say that way, I would actually be very, very wrong. Because all of us already live inside a philosophy. Let me repeat that and then explain. All of us already live inside a philosophy. How is that possible? It is possible. All of us do have questions. We all have questions. And we all think that there is indeed something that I need to look for. The problem is we may not know what to look for. One person looks for money. So his fundamental question is, how do I earn more money? How do I earn more money? One person looks for comfort. One person looks for a life partner. One person looks for peace. Lots and lots of people looking for lots and lots of things. So we do have questions and we do have fundamental questions. We have questions that we ask ourselves all the time. But many of us do not even understand that we are asking. We don't know that we are asking. And we don't know that these questions might not be the best questions. And we don't know the guarantee of the answers we arrive at. Yet we all live inside a philosophy. So, what is our aim? Not just action, yoga in action in the same way, right? Not just any philosophy, but a proper, skillful, practical philosophy. That is what we need. That is what all of us need. So let us return to the word samayam. The ideal samayam, we saw about the ideal religion, right? Let us, in fact, go back to the true religion. What did we say? We said it is the lived path that reconnects the individual to the supreme and steadily reshapes their character so that their actions become fit for that relationship with the supreme. Your relationship with the Supreme will improve you, and your improvement will make you even closer, even more related to the Supreme. It is a virtuous cycle. Now let us look at what we mean by a true Samaya. Yes, it is a philosophy, but it's not just some kind of a bookish philosophy. A true Samayam is one that would make a human being a whole, a complete entity. We all have problems in life. Nobody exists who doesn't have any problem. All of us have problems. But whether we see anything as a problem, whether we worry about it, whether we are scared, we have lots of fears inside, right? What if I fail? What if I lose money? I'm investing in the stock market. What if I lose money? I have spoken rudely to my girlfriend. What if she rejects me? My wife is in the pregnancy ward. What if the baby, God forbid, is not in good shape? So many people have so many kinds of fears. Every day a new fear keeps coming. A new confusion seems coming. How do I know what to do? Is this the right way or is that the right way? I know this. I know the answer to this question. But if I speak the truth here, it might not get appreciated. Should I still speak the truth? Should I speak the truth and get ridiculed? Or should I accept the lie, pretend to accept the lie, and myself get accepted by the crowd? So many such questions exist in the minds of people. Life is an everyday battle. Life is an everyday battle. Every day we keep thinking, should I do this or should I do that? Should I do this or should I do that? Should I eat rice or should I eat chapati? Should I eat this or should I eat that? Even for small, small things, we keep asking. We keep making choices. But what if we have a framework where we still have choices, but the choices are the best ones available? That is what we get through yoga in action. So the true Samaya is one that has yoga in action. The true religion is one that has yoga in action. What would it do? It would make us whole. It would reduce our problems. Remember, I'm not saying it will make our problems disappear permanently. Yoga is an ongoing process. We have to practice it continuously. Whatever has been told as appropriate for us, Bhagavad Ramanuja says we have to do it for life. It is not something that you start today and finish tomorrow and say, yes, I practiced yoga in action. It was very great. Now my entire life will be problem free. No, that is not what is going to happen. We have to keep practicing it throughout, continuously, consistently. When we do that, we would see that our problems reduce one by one. Our fears disappear one by one. We get a clear mind, no confusion, and we are steady. We are not shaken by what happens externally. With all of these, when we are armed with all of these, what would happen? Our life would be directed towards the highest goal, realization of that supreme being inside all of us, the very purpose of life as defined in Sanatana Dharma. We would be able to proceed in that direction comfortably. So, we have so many benefits of yoga in action. That is the reason why this second lecture is being conducted. It's easy to say, have yoga in action, do your duty without expecting the result. So many people say it, right? I've been hearing it from my kindergarten days. Do your duty without expecting the result. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. I've heard it a million times. But the depth that is hidden inside that one simple statement of Krishna takes years and years for us to realize. It is so deep. And this depth is pleasurable because it helps us. Think about it. How do I approach a problem? When I have yoga in action, I define the problem statement and I find out what the solution is. And I go to solve the problem without worrying about the problem. Oh no, what will happen? What will happen? I solve it without running behind the end goal with no problem. Once I solve this, there will be nothing left. Once I solve this, there will be nothing left. That's a futile exercise. When in school, my mother would say, don't worry, study for this 1 year. After that, your board exam would get completed. I would tell her, but after 10th, I have 11th and 12th. She would say, yes, that is just 2 more years. After that, you will not have any school. Imagine the reality. After school, you have college, exams again, subjects again. And after college, every single day becomes an exam. Every single day becomes an exam. Maybe we understand it to be an exam, maybe we don't. But at the end of each day, before going to sleep, if we were to run a short mental review of what happened in the day and ask ourselves, did we do blind action or was there yoga in our action? Did we act in the best possible way? I'm pretty sure many of us might not be happy with the answer, but the negative feedback would help us to improve. Therefore, in the Ramayana, Bharata has come inside the forest to meet Rama. Rama is there sitting in a hut. Bharata is now ruling Ayodhya. He has been requested by everybody to rule. He doesn't want to. He has come to Rama, and the wise Rama gives him a good number of advices. One of the advices given by Rama is every night think about what all has happened during the day, review it, and make plans for the next day to improve yourself. That way, you would consistently, you might not be the best today, but you would know how to become better tomorrow. Such a beautiful teaching, right? So, as we said, Samayam takes us towards the highest goal. It takes us higher and higher. It makes us better and better. That is why we celebrate it. Now, if we are to look at the Bhagavad Gita, I have already cited a number of verses from Bhagavad Gita. But what to do? When it comes to living life, the Bhagavad Gita is the greatest medicine. We cannot run away from it. Even if we do not quote Bhagavad Gita, we would still end up saying the exact same thing as Krishna, as long as we are correct. So, let us return to the Bhagavad Gita. What else has the Bhagavad Gita said? It has given a promise. Lord Krishna gives a promise to Arjuna. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. O Arjuna, even if to a small extent this dharma is practiced, it would be able to protect you from great fear. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya. Even if it is very, very minute, it would still protect you. What is the teaching we get from this? Rome was not built in a day. Ayodhya was not built in a day. Please do not come and tell me Indraprastha was built in a night. The Indraprastha that was built in a night was taken away by the Kauravas in less than a night. Let us remember that. When something takes time and effort, it teaches us the value. More importantly, it is not possible for us to transform ourselves instantly. Yoga in action. Practice this yoga in action. Okay, sir, I will try to practice. I try. I fail. I'm able to try, but only to some extent. I wanted to try it for the entire day. It worked in the morning, but after that I forgot. The next day, I remembered it in the afternoon, but I couldn't practice. The third day, I practiced in the afternoon, but missed in the evening. The fourth day, I was so busy, I was so distracted, I couldn't think about any yoga in action. There was a very, very serious business meeting going on. I had to attend to that. Or I had an exam coming, I had to study for that, I had to give the exam. Will I think about writing the exam, or will I think about skilled action through my thoughts, words, and actions? All of that. So, it is not possible for us to be perfect. It is not possible for us to transform ourselves completely that quickly. It is an ongoing process. But should we be feeling bad about it? I set a target. I wanted to change by the end of this year. That was my New Year resolution, but I failed. It's okay that I failed if I have improved at least to some extent. Krishna says, look at the positive side of things. You are trying to practice this yoga in action, O Arjuna. Literally, Ramanuja Gita Bhashya talks about karma yoga in the shloka. So, you are trying to practice yoga in action. At that point of time, even if you do it to a small extent, it is a good thing. Look at it from a positive side. Yes, yesterday I was at 0. Today I am at 2%. That's an improvement. It is great. Do you know this is the second half of a shloka? The first half of the shloka has an even bigger assurance. It says, even the tiniest step that you take to improve yourself will not go wasted. No step taken by us to improve ourselves ever gets wasted. So even if we try and fail, we don't have to worry. We don't have to be afraid. We don't have to be disheartened. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Great fear that could come in the future, or which might already be there with us, could still be removed with our tiny changes, the small, small steps that we take. Like how water that keeps hitting a rock, river water that keeps hitting a rock, eventually makes the entire rock disappear. The rock, which was an obstacle, when it got hit by river water, you look at any rock getting hit by river water, the rock will not disappear. In fact, you wouldn't even be able to notice any change in it. But over time, as the river keeps flowing, as the water keeps hitting the rock again and again and again and again and again, what would happen to the rock? It would stop being an obstacle. It would break down into small pieces and give way to the water. That would definitely happen. And therefore, O Arjuna, even the tiniest step that you take in the right direction is going to be of great value. Therefore, do not be afraid. What if I lose this? What if I try to improve myself, but improving is not easy? In the process of improving myself, what if I lose something? What if I lose relationships? What if I lose wealth? There are so many issues, and it is very important for us to think about that. We are not saying to ignore everything else in your life. We are saying that we need to remove that fear that is caused by loss, insecurity, ego, all of that. We have fears naturally, but no matter how bad we might be, no matter how poor performers we might be, if we know that there is a guarantee of improvement, today I'm here, but tomorrow, by taking this effort consistently with that vairagya, I will be able to improve. Today I'm facing a loss. Tomorrow I will not have any loss. I will have only and only profit. If I am able to get that confidence, how nice it would be. That confidence is what Krishna gives us in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, practice yoga in action. Try it. It's a difficult process. Yes, of course, it is a difficult process. The mind is not easy to control. Krishna says, right? Asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam. Yes, Krishna admits the mind is very difficult to control. But with practice, again and again and again, you study and you practice. Once you know the solution, you keep practicing again and again and again. That is abhyasa. And what is vairagya? Perseverance, consistency. Those will give you the solution. Therefore, we are saying that yoga in action, it takes us back towards the supreme being, the perfect being from whom we all came. We would be able to return to him. And it stabilizes our mind. It makes us calm. It makes us consistent. It makes us stable. It stabilizes our will. It makes our will strong and secure. And therefore, it is very much necessary for us to not just understand the benefits of yoga in action, but also consistently keep trying. Now, I understand this yoga in action. I want to keep trying. But in life, I see so many different types of problems. So many things keep happening. I don't know the solution to every single problem. I don't. I really don't. What should I do then? The Bhagavad Gita. Let me open the Bhagavad Gita. But then when I open the Bhagavad Gita, I see issues there as well. I see 100,000 commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. So many people have written their translations. There is a whole lot. It's a huge literature. Just 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. When I look at the number of books published on it, it is more than 70,000. What will I do then? How do I know what is right? How do I know that my action is the real skillful action? Fortunately, we have guidance. We have guidance in the form of what we call the Guru Parampara. If you had noticed the prayers recited by me in Sanskrit, one of the slides mentioned the Guru Parampara, the lineage of Gurus. It does not mean father, son, grandson, and so on. It means there is a Guru, and then there is a disciple who learns from that Guru and eventually becomes a Guru. Then that Guru teaches his disciples. In that manner, an entire lineage is created. That is called Guru Parampara. And why do we need this Guru Parampara? One reason, as I said, that things are very confusing. Shastrajnanam bahu klesham buddheschalana karanam. They are very difficult and they cause confusion if I think by myself. Even if I decide that I want to improve, I desire to improve. But just because I desire to improve, would I get all the knowledge? I had a cousin brother. I still have, of course. I have a cousin brother back when he was a school student, a small boy. He desired to study the violin. He practiced with great difficulty for 6 months. I thought he would have become a great scholar by now. He must be playing Varnam, Geetam, all of that, right? Kirtana. At the end of 6 months, I asked him, "What is the last lesson you learned?" He said, "I just mastered a lesson. Let me play that for you." And he played washing powder Nirma, literally. I did not know whether to laugh or cry. I did not know how to respond to him. He had great desire. It was very, very genuine. But that desire did not give him the knowledge. The desire was insufficient to give him the skill. It could not give him the discipline with which he could have practiced enough to learn much more. So, we need guidance in life. We all need guidance. None of us is perfect. But there are people with great knowledge accumulated over the ages, tried and tested, and proven to be successful. And all of that knowledge has been preserved only and only for the sake of our generation and the future generations. When such a great treasure is available, should we miss it? Even if I manage to understand the correct teachings, I might not want to accept it. I don't think I'm such a bad guy. Why are you saying I need yoga in action? I am already the perfect at acting. The people around me, they are so bad. They don't think at all before they act. But whenever I do something, I think about it. I don't think I need this kind of advice. Do not have that attitude. That attitude is extremely harmful. All of us need advice, and all of us need advice from a source that is the best performing, the best consistent, clear, sustained improvement is what we would get when we follow that source. That source is the Guru Parampara. And therefore, Krishna himself tells in Bhagavad Gita, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. Jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. They are tattvadarshis. They know the real tattva. They know the real concept. Since they know the concept, they can guide us. In childhood, we needed our mother and our father. We needed our school teacher, college professor. At work, we need our superior, more experienced people to guide us. We have mentors throughout our lives. Likewise, we need mentors in Sanatana Dharma as well. And that role is occupied by the gurus. Therefore, for us to be experts at yoga in action, what do we need? We need gurus. We need gurus and we need to learn from them. That is very, very important. Now I understand that it is a little past 7:30, so I will try to end the lecture as quickly as possible. The end message that I would like to give you today is you can improve even today. Some of us are young, some of us are old. Some of us have been doing only good things the entire lives. Some of us never cared. That is how the world is. But every single one of us still has an opportunity to improve. Our past is real, there is no doubt about it. I am not saying, oh, you were always perfect, don't worry, everything will be good. No, that is called toxic positivity. And toxic positivity leads to downfall. So, yes, my past is real. I was bad. I was a thief. I was doing all sorts of wrong things. I lived life like an animal. I did not know how to live. It's true, all my years have been wasted. I have wasted 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years of my life. That's a fact. I cannot change. I cannot travel back in time. But my past is not my identity. Your past is not your identity. Therefore, do not worry about it. Look at the present. The present moment has the power of reorientation. The present moment has the power to change you. The present moment has the ability to improve you and take you towards the Supreme Being. It is never too late. It is never ever too late. It is the duty of each and every one of us to strive to improve ourselves. And that is what Krishna said, Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanam vyavasadayet. Krishna said, it is your duty to improve yourself, elevate yourself. Uddharet, elevate. Elevate yourself. Do not push yourself down. Do not feel bad. Do not ignore this yoga in action. At the same time, do not, out of some kind of doubt or confusion or fear, push yourself down. Keep trying to elevate yourself. Do you know, even a person who was not so good in the past, maybe the person was not so good in the past, but even such a person who has lived in a very, very faulty way, if that person turns towards Krishna, turns towards the Supreme Being with pure devotion, single hearted devotion, I am devoted to following the words of Krishna. If I am able to do that, what would happen? I would be able to definitely get the results. Decisive results I would get. I need to elevate myself, and I can elevate myself no matter where I am. And even the slightest efforts that I take would help me. That is the message I got, and therefore I'm sharing with you the same messages. You can improve even today. It is your duty to improve. No matter what your past, you can definitely improve. And even the smallest steps that you take to improve towards inculcating this yoga in action would have everlasting results. With that, I would like to conclude today's session. If anybody has any question, please feel free to go ahead and ask.
Sir, I just want to say this was an excellent talk. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for attending.
Yeah, even I loved it. Thank you very, very much for everything you've done. God bless you.
Thank you.
Acharya, Namaste. I am Arun Kulkarni here. I was absent on a yesterday's session. I greatly missed it. Don't know what all has happened. But still, the way you have presented yoga in action, the way yoga process is spreading across the world, why this concept of yoga in action is not able to spread across, Acharya? Do you think it is the lack of the gurus who are not conveying yoga properly, or there are no students who can grasp actually what exactly the yoga is or yoga in action is? What is your views, Acharya?
Yoga in this context is not just some physical or mental exercise. It is not some simple breathing exercise. Breathing exercises are there. They are really great. Krishna also praises them in Bhagavad Gita. But this is not just an exercise, right? This is an inner journey. This yoga that we are talking about is an inner journey of transformation. And this journey is continuous. It takes continuous effort. If I were to tell you that you have to practice something your entire life, you might not pay me money. But if I tell you, come here, just breathe in, close your eyes, breathe out, you might pay me money, right? The exercises are always popular. But those who teach the philosophical meanings behind the exercises, those who teach the inner meaning, those who teach the greater purpose, they are fewer in number. And naturally, people don't have so much time to listen. They are living in a very, very fast paced world. I woke up, then I brushed my teeth, I took bath, I'm not even reading the newspaper these days. I have in shots. So, news in 100 words. Let me read very quickly. Okay, I saw that. Side by side, I had my food, and that was also ready made. I had some cornflakes, muesli, something. And then I rushed towards my office. I worked. I returned home so tired. I didn't even have time for my family. That is the condition of many of the people today. When such is the condition, how would it be possible for them to inquire further about themselves, to inquire further about what needs to be done? Oh, this is what Krishna has said. This is what has been happening. This is the reason why I'm frustrated at work every single day. And I have a permanent solution to solve that frustration. How many people have the time to think of the possibility of a permanent solution to their frustrations and fears and other problems? When I get frustrated, I would simply try to solve the problem. How will it not get solved? Let me solve it somehow or the other. I will work day and night. I will do something or the other. That is how people work. If you want to look at the long term solution, naturally, you would not find that many companions with you. This is nature. People do whatever is easier, whatever first comes to their mind. First come, first serve. But as you know well, from your Indian name, I could say, as you know well, first come, first serve is what resulted in the 2G. So
Okay.
we
And
shouldn't
moreover,
have
yeah,
mind
sorry.
that
Yeah, sorry.
whatever
Continue.
first comes to our mind might not be the best. We should train our mind to make it better. That is what yoga in action is all about. As I
True,
said in the
true.
previous class, yoga in action is not just about action, it is about the mind. You train your mind so that your action is better. So, yes, please go
Mm,
on.
yeah, slipped from my mind. Okay. It just slipped from Acharya. That's what I was recollecting. The Patanjali is called as the compiler of the yogic practice and all that. Even he, I really don't remember Patanjali Yoga Sutra tells anything about maybe a 0.01% of he talks about asanas. He in Ashtanga he says yama niyama asana pranayama pratyahara dharana dana. In here like asanas sutras are maybe one stiram sukham asanam. That's it. He never gives any clarity about what kind of a posture, Acharya. That's why is it that that's why it is called as sutra, not the mantra or something like that. Because sutra you
Kind
can
of.
derive, you can comment whatever way you want. Because sutra is the formula. You can make whatever out of it.
See, sutra is not, you are right, with a word of caution. Sutra means aphorism. It's a very, very small formula that you have. When is a formula created? Formula is not created for the sake of you interpreting it in any way you like. You know, I have this thing called quadratic formula in mathematics. I studied in high school. They told me minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. Very long formula, right? Just imagine if I decide to interpret it in whichever way I want, A, B, C, if I interchange that, Let
Okay.
anything be A, let anything be B. Will the formula work? It will not work. For the formula to
It
work,
will not work.
the
Okay,
right
okay.
procedure is necessary. If ax square plus bx plus c equals 0, then this formula would work. If cx square plus ax plus b equals 0, this formula will fail. Very important for us to
Okay.
understand that. So, a formula
Yeah.
is created on the basis of existing knowledge. A great lot of knowledge was there, but it had to be condensed after teaching the students. It had to be condensed into formulae so that the students would remember it easily. There is an entire concept behind the quadratic formula that I just mentioned. But that's a long process. This is a short form, easy, quick, right?
Mm.
So, sutras are created so that after you study, you understand and remember things the correct way. It is not part of the formal education. The formal education happens before it, the sutra comes after it. Vedanta
Oh,
sutras come after Upanishads, right? You study Upanishads, you study Bhagavad Gita. After that, you enter the Vedanta sutras. In the same way with yoga.
okay. Then who writes the sutras? The person, only he knows what exactly the sutra is actually, or his direct disciples would know it. But the moment it gets transcending to the generation to generation, then people, they are interpreting their own way. Like now, whatever I know about Yoga Sutras may not be the sutras what Patanjali would have recited. Is it so, Acharya?
If you want to know the way it has been taught, you should go to the Guru Parampara that follows Patanjali. That is why we mentioned the Guru Parampara in the lecture. If we decide to interpret by ourselves or by choosing, I like this guy is very popular, this guy has 1 million followers, and so on, it might not work. But when we go to the Guru Parampara, they are people who very religiously preserve the ancient teachings for us. And therefore, it would be
Okay,
fruitful to
okay,
go
okay.
there and learn.
Okay, Acharya. But you really change the dimension and the way people look at the yoga. Actually, it was a very big insight what you have given for us, Acharya. This has to be experienced rather than reading, listening. This yoga in action is more pleasureful or more, I don't know how to express it. It is very nice. Thank you, Acharya. Thank you so much for the session.
Sure. Thank you so much for attending and listening patiently. Uh, uh, with regards to the message that came in the chat section, uh, I think it might very well be possible for us to do that. Uh, I have asked Swatiji about the same thing, so I will keep you informed. I think it shouldn't be a problem. Swatiji had told me it shouldn't be. Swatiji, are you still there?
Um, Raghavanji?
Yes, Rameshji. Namaste.
Yeah, namaste. I'm sorry I wasn't there for most of the session because I caught up with the house construction process. But I was called away for that. But whatever I heard, it was really amazing. Very, it was presented obviously by a person who's quite mature in spiritual seeking, and it has given a lot of value. So, of course, I mean, I suppose everybody else is done with the question and answer. If there are any more questions, let me check the chat session. Yeah. So I suppose everybody else is done with the question and answer.
Yeah, we
So
thanked him a lot. So thanks a lot, you guys. Thank you.
thank you.
But
Thank
one
you.
thing I have to mention, the way you crack the jokes with such a serious note, no, Acharya, commendable. Washing powder, Nirma, I'm not going to forget for my life.
True.
In fact, it would be lovely to actually experience such sessions in person. if we could do it at the School of Ancient Wisdom on a weekend sometime. So I mean, it'll be nice to explore that option. So if anybody has any more questions, please do ask now, or we'll come to the end of the session. Is there a lot of background noise from my end?
No.
Okay.
Not at all, Ramesh. Not at all.
Right. Okay. So since all the question and answers are done, I'm going to definitely be looking through this recording because I know there's a lot of value that I would have missed. So thank you once again, Acharya ji.
Thank you so much. If not for platforms offered by institutions like the School of Ancient Wisdom, I mean, the name says it all. The ancient wisdom cannot be propagated as easily as we would like.
Yes.
So I should be very thankful to you, sir.
Well, anyway, the gratitude is. I think we are all practicing the attitude of gratitude. Actually, we should thank Ma Manise because she was a clairvoyant. She's a clairvoyant. Actually, I wouldn't even say was because we still feel her presence. You know, looking after the school. Literally a lifelong earning, and she was guided by the divine ones to build this in a very clairvoyant manner. You know, in an intuitive manner, and she fully believed in her. You know, higher wisdom, and that's how she came to build this place. So we really have to be very grateful for her. And on that note of gratitude, and definitely
Your voice is gone, Ramesh.
thank you so much for that. So on that note, we've come to the last section of the satsang today. Please sit straight with your back, neck, and head aligned. This is the Loka Samasta, where we collectively pray and send out healing to our loved ones, to those in our community that might require healing. In doing so, we make our heart chakra bigger and we become the channel of the divine. And it really works. I've experienced it firsthand with people in my own family, including my father who had a heart attack, my mother's varicose veins, and other things also. When you pray for them collectively, I've seen amazing results, sometimes as quickly as in one day's time. So think of your loved ones, think of people in your community who require healing. It could be in any area. It could be in the area of finances, it could be in the area of health, or in the area of relationships, or any other area. Think of their name and think of what ailment you want them to, how you want them to overcome their challenge. Also, send out prayers for universal peace and love for Dharma to grow in the world, which is going through a rapid transformation at the moment, for the good times to come. Take a nice deep breath and let go. Observe the silence, the language of the soul that connects all of us. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you all once again. So once again, thank you all. Thank you so much, Acharya ji. Until next week, same time, same place. Take care and God bless. Hari Om.